Picture this: a football legend passed out in front of alcohol bottles, lying helpless in a hospital bed. This was Malcolm Macdonald's lowest point, a man once known as Supermac, who terrorized defences across England. But this isn't just another story of a fallen star. It's the remarkable journey of resilience, recovery, and redemption that shows the true measure of human character. Malcolm Ian Macdonald was born on January 7, 1950, and would become one of English football's most feared strikers. His journey began in the lower tiers with Fulham, where his schoolboy hero Bobby Robson signed him for just £1,000. It was here that Malcolm first showed glimpses of the talent that would make him a household name. But it was at Luton Town where he truly built his reputation, scoring an impressive 58 goals in 101 appearances. This incredible record caught Newcastle United's attention, and they signed him in the summer of 1971 for £180,000. At Newcastle, Malcolm's legend was truly born. He made an immediate and unforgettable impact by scoring a hat-trick on his home debut against Liverpool. During this very game, he earned the nickname Supermac from Newcastle fans chanting to the tune of Superstar from the musical Jesus Christ Superstar. With a build like a middleweight boxer and blessed with electric pace and a thunderous shot, he consistently terrorized defences across the country. Over 5 seasons, he became an icon of the 1970s, celebrated for his goal-scoring prowess and distinctive, confident persona. He plundered 138 goals in 258 appearances, cementing his status as Newcastle's 5th highest goalscorer of all time. His success extended far beyond club football. Playing 14 times for England and scoring 6 goals, Malcolm achieved something truly unique in football history. In 1975, he scored a record 5 goals against Cyprus at Wembley. This feat remains unmatched in English football history, as he is the only player to have scored 5 goals in a competitive international match. No one before or since has managed to replicate this incredible achievement for England. His star continued to rise with a high-profile move to Arsenal in August 1976 for a reported transfer fee of £333,000, a sum that underscored his status as one of the most sought-after players in the country. He delivered on these sky-high expectations, forming one of the most potent strike partnerships in Arsenal's history with Frank Stapleton. In his first season at Highbury, Malcolm scored 29 goals and became the top scorer in the English First Division in 1977. The Supermac persona made him larger than life, a confident and seemingly invincible superstar. However, this larger-than-life status would soon become a double-edged sword. His confident, invincible superstar image created a stark contrast with the profound physical and personal struggles that were about to follow. The man who seemed unstoppable was about to face his greatest challenge. Malcolm's career had always been marked by his powerful physical presence, but it was also defined by the brutal toll that professional football takes on the human body. An early example of this sacrifice came during his Newcastle debut when he collided with Liverpool goalkeeper Ray Clements. In a desperate play for the ball, Malcolm was knocked unconscious and lost his 4 front teeth. While dramatic, this incident was merely a preview of the much more devastating injury that would prematurely end his career. Everything changed forever in 1978 during a League Cup match against Rotherham United. Malcolm recounts the moment with painful clarity. He wasn't even near the ball when his studs caught in the turf, and he felt his knee go. Despite knowing something was seriously wrong, he played on for the rest of the game. Only afterward did his knee blow up like a balloon, signalling that something was terribly wrong. At this point in Malcolm's story, we see how quickly life can change for any of us. Share in the comments below how you think athletes should be supported when facing career-ending injuries. And don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories of sports legends overcoming adversity. What followed was a medical nightmare that would haunt him for years. An initial specialist named Bram Stoker used what he called a state-of-the-art machine that took numerous photos but couldn't find anything wrong. This left Malcolm confused and increasingly frustrated because he couldn't even straighten his knee. The specialist's conclusion that there was nothing wrong and that the problem might be all in his head made everything infinitely worse. The true cause of his agony was only revealed after a more invasive procedure. A surgeon named Mr. Harris made a shocking discovery. A small piece from a previous operation at Newcastle in 1973 hadn't been removed properly. This attachment had grown over time into 14 inches of gristle that was zigzagging its way through his knee joint. This wasn't a new injury, but a catastrophic complication from an old one that had been festering for years. Despite multiple attempts to save his career, including a new operation and a loan spell at Swedish club Djurgården, the damage was irreversible. Malcolm found he could only play for increasingly shorter periods of time. At just 29 years old, in what should have been the prime of his career, Malcolm made the agonising decision to retire before the start of the 1979-80 season. He poignantly describes walking out of the East Stand at Highbury for the last time and crying. This physical injury became the central catalyst for everything that followed in Malcolm's life. His own words reveal the direct connection between his chronic knee pain and his descent into alcohol dependence. The pain was horrendous, feeling like a sledgehammer constantly hitting his brain. His body desperately searched for relief, and he discovered that the only thing that numbed the pain was whiskey. This led to him drinking a bottle a day while living in Italy. This wasn't a moral failing, but a desperate attempt at self-medication to cope with debilitating, constant pain. His post-career struggles extended far beyond alcohol. Malcolm attempted to channel his understanding of the game into management. He first found success at Fulham, starting as commercial manager in 1979 and then becoming manager in 1980. He led the club to promotion to Division 2 in 1982 without spending money on new players. However, his second managerial role at Huddersfield Town in 1987 proved disastrous. The absolute nadir was a historic 10-1 defeat to Manchester City in November 1987, which remains the club's biggest ever loss. Malcolm himself described it as perhaps his most humiliating day within football. He resigned in May 1988, having been in charge for only 206 days. Personal hardships mounted alongside professional failures. His business venture in Italy collapsed when the Italian government shut down the entire phone line industry. Malcolm was declared bankrupt, leaving him with only £3,000 to his name. Simultaneously, he was going through a divorce from his second wife. The combination of chronic pain, professional failures, and personal struggles pushed him toward despair. The absolute lowest point came in February 1997, when Malcolm was arrested for drink driving. Though confident he would pass the breathalyzer test, having not had a drink since the previous evening, he was found to be 3 times over the legal limit. This public disgrace cost him his radio job and resulted in a 2-year suspension of his driver's licence, plunging him into profound hopelessness. He felt he couldn't see a way out, but then came the turning point that would change everything. A phone call from his old teammate Mickey Burns provided a critical perspective. Burns looked past the public image of a man defeated by alcohol and identified the real problem. He said something simple but profound. "You've got a problem, Mac, but it's not the booze, it's your knee." This statement shifted the focus from personal failure to a medical issue that had been left untreated for years. Burns's company worked with the Professional Footballers Association, and together they provided Malcolm with life-changing support. The PFA funded a new knee operation and rehabilitation in 1997. The operation itself was intense, with Malcolm recounting how 2 surgical blades actually buckled and flew out of his knee due to the bone's hardness. But this successful surgery was the critical event that finally enabled his psychological recovery. With the source of his pain finally eliminated after years of torment, Malcolm could begin true healing. The first weeks of sobriety were challenging as he adjusted his mindset from planning his life around his next drink to embracing a different way of living. But he ultimately found freedom and genuine contentment. By 2003, he hadn't had a drink for over 6 years and came to enjoy being as sober as a judge while others drank around him. Malcolm successfully transitioned into media work, becoming a well-known broadcasting figure. He worked extensively for Real Radio Northeast, where he co-presented the Legends Football Phone-In and hosted an interview series titled Up Front with Malcolm Macdonald. His return to broadcasting in Newcastle brought his life full circle and allowed him to reconnect with the fans who had adored him as Supermac. His personal life also found stability when he married Carol, crediting her with providing immense support during his recovery. Malcolm Macdonald's legacy extends far beyond his impressive football statistics. While he's rightfully remembered as one of Newcastle United's greatest number 9s and a 2-time First Division top scorer, his most profound legacy is his courage to openly discuss his struggles and share his journey to recovery. He transformed his story from a public fall from grace into a powerful lesson about the hidden costs of athletic success and the importance of addressing both physical and psychological trauma. His remarkable journey demonstrates that true character isn't measured by the absence of pain or struggle, but by the courage to confront and overcome the darkest moments life can throw at you. Malcolm faced his demons, rebuilt his life, and became living proof of the human capacity for resilience and redemption. His story serves as a powerful reminder that with the right support, proper medical care, and determination, even the darkest chapters can lead to triumph. If this incredible story of comeback and courage inspired you, hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing tales of sports legends who refused to give up when life knocked them down. Malcolm Macdonald's journey proves that sometimes our greatest victories come not on the field, but in the battle to reclaim our lives.